Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, Arrow the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we're going to talk about the race baiters who were trying real fucking hard to try to push another summer of riots, specifically pieces of shit like Roland S. Martin, I should say is what it is, and his idiotic panel that we're talking about the Akron shooting the other day of that 15-year-old kid that got popped in the hand by this cop. Who apparently, I guess the cop, this Ryan Westmoreland guy, was apparently fired at one point for some stuff, and then he basically essentially sued the city of Akron for wrongful termination is what it was. Got his job back now, and that's who actually shot this kid is what it was then. Who, by the way, good on the cop for shooting the kid in the fucking hand, honestly, dude. Because it could have definitely been a different story altogether. He could have shot him in the fucking neck, the throat, whatever the case be. Right in the head, chest, whatever the case be is there. That's another thing too, by the way. I was watching this video earlier today where it was this guy who was like obviously had no experience at all handling firearms or firing guns or whatever the case be, talking about like, oh, why do they always aim for center mass and the head and stuff and not just for the hand or the leg or something like that? It's like, obviously, first off, you don't know a damn thing about Second Amendment related shit. You don't know nothing about ever firing a gun because you probably never fired guns. My guess, honestly, number one on that one guy. And then number two, okay, cool. We'll shoot them right in the fucking leg, directly in the fucking femoral artery, and they'll bleed out to death in 2 minutes or so, right? Genius, buddy. Genius. Fucking real genius, you idiot. No, you fuck. The whole point is you're aiming for the largest part of the body. That's why you're aiming center mass in most cases. There's also a thing called a triangle, where it's I forget what the actual term. It's like vital triangle or something like that. I heard it recently. And what it is basically your head and then your chest area where your heart is and like lungs and stuff are is what it is. And it's because that's pretty much where you're told to aim is what it is there. In most cases, it's like, 2 to the chest, 1 to the head kind of thing is what it is there. And that used to be how cops were actually trained, if I'm not mistaken, back in the day. And that's obviously how a lot of militias train in this country too, for that matter, for, encounters and stuff like that. And what I think is funny, though, is, you have that Roland S. Martin guy, and he was doing the stupid ass panel the other day with his people. And they were bitching about Ohio and like open carry laws and stuff like that. Like, as far as I'm aware, and we're gonna go and look at our Ohio revised code here in a second, what it is. As far as I'm aware, though, right now, 90% of the way sure on this one, you still have to be over 18 to legally carry openly in this state. Is what it is. You can't be a 17-year-old, 16-year-old, 15-year-old, etc. Because number one, you're a minor in possession of a firearm. Number two, you can't legally buy a firearm in the state until you're 18 years old anyway. And that's also one people don't realize is us being a private seller state, you can actually legally sell an 18-year-old teenager a handgun in the state in a private sale. They can legally buy one in the state. Hell, you can actually have an 18-year-old kid go out there and build themselves like a P80 or something like that legally and carry it around. I know that for a fact because there was one of the guys I talked with here who is a few years younger than I am is what it is. And we were discussing Ohio laws here the last few months is what it was then. And he was mentioning about how when he was in his late teens there, like 19 years old or so, he was carrying a gun he had built, what it was. And the cops were giving him a bunch of shit for like an hour, whatever the case be. And he's like, no, look up the statutes, bro. And they looked up all of our revised code stuff. And it's like, yeah, it turned out he was legally carrying at the time because he was over the age of 18 is what it was. But he was still under 21. So that's why they were giving him shit because they're like, oh, you can't legally carry a handgun with you unless you're 21 years old. And he's like, no, you can't have to be 18. That's what it is there, dude. That's the whole thing. Is like, as far as I'm aware, you still have to be 18 years old, that's what it is. Which, by the way, what's funny to me, too, is that the one woman on Roland's panel there was bitching and moaning about how, oh, the kid had it up like this or whatever. And she's like, you could have had a holster in his back pocket. It's like, okay, so you're talking about illegally concealing a fucking firearm, you dumb bitch? Because that's what he would have caught, by the way, as a charge. Would have been having a concealed firearm under the age of 21 in the state, because that's also what our constitutional carry law is right now, as of June 13th, 2022 is what it is. When it went into effect, you have to be over the age of 21 to legally carry concealed is what it is here. So, oh, a familiar face in the crowd. We're talking about that Ohio shooting the other day. It was a 15-year-old kid got shot in the hand because he was carrying like a fake Tech 9 is what it was. And we're also going to cover Ohio gun laws today is what it is. So, yeah, good to see DJ out in the crowd then. So, and the thing is, they really like. It seems like the left is really trying hard right now, specifically to do another George Floyd this year for another set of riots. Is what it is then. So, like, real hard, honestly. This is about the 4th or 5th try now. They've done this whole thing in the last like 2 weeks or so, with this kid being the most recent one, this Tavion kid. And then they had what was that guy's name? The dude in Chicago who fired the cops first out of the SUV, and then they shot his ass here a couple weeks ago, as it was, or whatever. And then they even pulled one out from like 2 years ago, where it was some random dude in a Texas hospital who apparently had gotten like violent with the cops or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, the cops totally killed this dude," or whatever the case be. And there's other ones too, for that matter. But yeah, it's like they're grasping at straws right now to try some shit this year, dude. Is what it is, and it's because it's fucking election year, is what it is. It's happened. I swear to God, it happens every 4 years, dude. You had 2020 was George Floyd. 2016 it was I think that was Filipino Castillo, if I'm not mistaken. Which that one was actually fucked up. That was the only outlier that actually was a legitimate murder in this country. And then you had what was the other ones now? There was a couple under Obama's administration too, for that matter. Like going back like 2012 and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been basically since like 2012 or so, give or take. They've been pulling this shit quite a bit, is what it is then. So anyway, but yeah, we're going to talk about what our technical gun laws are here in the state of Ohio right now in this whole thing. So you go to, first off, we're going to go to, it's unfortunately when you actually look it up, it doesn't like pull up immediately. So you actually have to go to places like Wikipedia and look up like gun laws in Ohio. Here's what it is. And then you go down to the permanent required open carry thing, and there's actually 2 different statutes here. One of them is actually for constitutional carry. The other one is for the previous laws before constitutional carry became a thing, as what it was for 21 and over. And so we're going to go ahead and look at both of those actually right now. So like I said, in order to be concealed carrying as a qualified adult, which, by the way, this is another thing too for that matter, is if you're actually carrying legally in the state, you can't have a felony record. Number one, you have to have no felony record at all. You have to be legally able to carry a gun. You have to be legal to buy a gun, etc. there to even be qualifying right now is what it is. So yeah, concealed carry by a qualified adult here is what went into effect on June 13, 2022, which will be, by the way, about a little less than 2 months from now, and it'll be our 2nd anniversary as a organization here. It'll also be the 3rd anniversary of Ohioans for Firearms Freedom, which is the 2A organization I created in 2021 that actually helped get constitutional carry in the state of Ohio to where we could become Ohio Patriot Education Network as it was. So, but yeah, so basically, as it says here, where's that now? Yeah, for constitutional carry, it's 21 years or older, not legally prohibited from possessing or receiving a firearm under Title 18 U.S. Code, etc., there for stuff. Satisfies all criteria listed in the divisions D1, A, J, M, P, Q, and S, etc. here. And then it says, notwithstanding revised code section, the contrary, person who is qualified, this is by constitutional carry, here's what it is. Person who is qualified adult shall not be required to obtain a concealed handgun license in order to carry in the state under authority of Division B2 in the section that says 2, regardless of whether the person has been issued a concealed handgun license subject to the limitations specified in divisions B3 and C2 of the section. Person who is qualifying adult may carry a concealed handgun that is not a restricted firearm anywhere in the state in which a person who has been issued a concealed carry license may carry a concealed handgun. So basically, like, as long as you're not like carrying into like essentially a gun-free zone, like a hospital or something like that, like you're good to go is what it does then. And even then, if you were to be technically like carrying into these kind of places that are like, what do you call it now? A quote unquote like prohibited area or whatever the case be, you still have to have them essentially trespass you from the property without trespassing your property, like ask you to leave before you can actually, whatever, and you would catch a charge for like being in possession of trespassing and stuff like that's what it is there. And so the thing about that is though, in order for them to even do that, they would have to illegally search you anyway, would break Fourth Amendment rights violations and stuff like that, to even like find a handgun on you if you're concealed carrying and stuff like that's what it is there. So there is that. But anyway, not saying you should be carrying illegally is what it is in this state and those places, dude. But like, yeah, what I will say is like, don't carry into places with metal detectors. And that's all. I'll leave it at that right now. So anyway, yeah, it goes on from there. Basically, yeah, it's like 21 and over. no felony convictions, etc., and then it basically goes on from there is what it is. But anyway, so to go to the actual revised code, which was this is pre-constitutional carry here. This is the old revised code, which, according to this, was the improper handling of firearms on motor vehicle, was what they said on this one, though, which I thought was weird. And I'm guessing it's because it has to do with everything leading up to that, or whatever the case is. But the thing is, though, like in this one, I swear to God, there should be other statutes on the books too, for that matter, because that was considered under the open carry thing, which is weird. So I'm trying to find something right now on this one. Okay. So we actually have multiple ones for the constitutional carry thing. So I'm trying to see about different parts of the revised code now. I may have to actually look up our revised code period here in a second and see if I can't find like a thing about open carrying respectively is what it is there. Because I swear it has a thing that specifically states like you have to be a legal adult basically to carry as open carry in the state of Ohio is what it is then. Like it's not like that's the thing, right? It's not like I could just hand my like 10-year-old niece a gun and be like, okay, honey, just go ahead and put this in a holster on your hip and walk around with it. Like, nah, pretty fucking sure that that would be illegal as fuck, dude. Like, so yeah, it's just fucking stupid. Okay, this one's about underage purchase of firearm or handgun. So that'd be another thing too, for that matter. Okay, it's duty to inform stuff. So shall certify stuff, NFA weapons stuff, state preemption, local restriction stuff. Okay, I'm gonna have to go look up your Ohio revised code for real then, because everything that pops up is because of constitutional carry now, and it has to do with 21 and over then. So I'm gonna go ahead and look this up real fast, and then we'll just go do the shit in real time right now and find out what's going on with this right now is what it is. So, okay, let's look up open carry, see what pops up then. Okay, so we got carrying concealed weapons, duties of licensed individual, motor vehicle definitions, possession of firearms, and beer liquor permit premises. That's another thing too, by the way. There's also a thing in the constitutional carry law too, for that matter, where you can't legally be under the influence of any alcohol or stuff like that and be carrying at the time. So, okay, let's see. We got license, temporary permit to possess a dangerous ordinance, employee authorized to apprehend violators, weapons control definition. Okay, that might be something right there. Powers and duties, traffic laws, definitions. Concealed carry by qualifying adult, which would be constitutional carry. Office of Economic Development, authority of law enforcement officer, investigator to carry weapon in an establishment serving to the public. Here you go, carrying firearm. Let's see what this has to say. Okay. Is this what this is actually? Okay, so this was the July 1st, 2003 was when this was passed. This was HB 68 back then in the 123rd General Assembly. So I'm assuming this is talking about like this is probably open carry is my guess. Okay, let's see. No Class A, B, or C licensee and no registered employee of Class A, B, and C license shall carry a firearm as defined by Section the Revised Code in course of engaging in business of private investigation. Okay, never mind. This is for private investigators. Okay, so that's a different thing entirely. Trying to make sure there's nothing in here about open carrying or anything like that. I don't think there is, but yeah, it looks like mostly private investigation stuff is what it'll be then. Okay, let's see. Running passenger trains with less than full crew. Not sure what that has to do with open carry laws, but whatever. I don't think some of that does, honestly, but yeah, it should be so easy to find this stuff. That's the problem, dude. It's like, again, it's government fuckery at its best right here, dude. Like even just trying to look up like open carry laws, like it didn't even have like half the shit on here, so it is then. Maybe it's weapons control. I could see that, maybe. Okay, deadly weapon means the same thing as destructive device, etc., etc. Firearm means that. Okay, capable of expelling, propelling. It's just a handgun, any firearm. Okay, let's see. It talks about sawed-off stuff, zip guns, etc., etc. Any device, including explosives, incendiary, ballistic knife, dangerous ordnance. Okay. Okay. I know what this is now. What year did this put in place, actually? This was 2019. This was put in place here. I'm not even sure what the fuck this has to do with, dude. I feel like they were trying to be like NFA bullshit or something. Here's what it is. Okay. Oh no, I know what this is now. Okay. I don't know if you guys remember. This happened. I was talking about this a few years ago. So there was a time period in history. It was under Casey's administration where you basically had the General Assembly go full retard, and they were passing some bullshit that was like NFA related. Here's what it is, and it would have actually fucked us over completely, and it would have made for any gun, any long gun over the age of over like I think it was like 20 inches or 26 inches or something like that, as a first degree felony because people were too stupid to actually read legislation they were passing at the time. And so you had to have, it was then Ohio gun owners at the time who, Chris Dorr and them, had gone out of their way and were like, hey man, like you guys need to get back in there and like amend this shit immediately. And then they figured out, like people were actually reading it after the fact or whatever the case be, because I think what it was is it was one of these marathon sessions that they had, because that's what they'll do, unfortunately, in Ohio sometimes when you have it come to the General Assembly every 2 years, what it is then. So it's actually usually like every other year for that matter, because it's usually like December of whatever year then, whether that be 2023 or 2024 now, so it'll be. They'll have like, it's about like a 16 to 18 hour marathon session at like the end of December sometime there is what it is, right before Christmas time. And it's like the last couple of days they'll be in office then for the year most likely. And they'll do like this, like more or less like half a day to like almost 18-hour session basically is what it is. And they'll pass like 60, 70 different bills at the same time or whatever that is during that time period. And so you'll have them going into like 2, 3, 4 a.m. is what it is in some cases. And I think what it was is back then you had somebody basically slip this shit as an amendment into something else is what it was then. And so they basically passed this thing without actually reading through it is what it was then. And the amendment itself was basically fucking us over. And I think it was some anti-gun sack of shit at the time who I think was voted out of office after that. That'd be the case then. Who was the one behind that crap was what it was. So, and then of course they went back in under Casey's administration and they were like, okay, oops, we fucked up here. And it was like a day or two later, they ran back in there and they were like, okay, we're going to push a new piece of legislation then that like repeals this other piece of legislation kind of thing is what it was. And it was like an emergency fucking bunch of shit. And I'm just like, y'all are fucking dumb, dude. Like it should have never gotten to that point to begin with is what it was, dude. So yeah, it was just really, really fucking retarded in general. So, but yeah, that's what that piece of thing is what it is right there then. So anyway. Trying to figure this out now. Let me run back on that one. Open carry. I'm going to put open carry age in there and see if anything pops up then. Okay. This is all licensee stuff or other stuff, interstate compact stuff. Duty as to impaired, member, insured, child restraint system. That goes back to the control definition thing there. Okay. Define prison terms, unemployment stuff. It's probably not. I'm sure it's probably not labeled as guns is the problem though. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna change it to something else then. So let me go and look up arms carry. Let's see what that comes up with then. Okay, so we got the liquor premises thing, exemptions, etc. there. Okay. Authority of tactical medical professionals to carry firearms. Authority of county CEOs to carry firearms. Rules governing training, tactical medication, stuff like that. More recommendations. Temporary handling of firearms in a vehicle. Firearm prohibitions. Powers and duties of peace officer. Ohio Peace Officer Training Academy. Employees authorized to apprehend violators. Annual firearms pre-qualification program. Court employees. Let's see. Rules governing attendance of county correctional officers at peace officer school training school. Apprehending escapees. Let's see. Duties and statutes. Law enforcement officer. Correctional facility. Private operation management of initial intensive program prison. Carrying concealed weapons. Weapons control definitions. Okay. So the thing is, it wouldn't have been a... Okay. So it wouldn't have been a concealed weapon that kid had on is the thing, though. It would have been like... It would have just been like mishandling a gun, basically, is what it is. So that... It might fall into mishandling a firearms motor vehicle thing, but it would be like just mishandling firearms, period, kind of thing, or whatever the case be then. As like somebody underage would be then. So let's go ahead and look that up real quick, actually, for the... yeah, improper handling a firearms motor vehicle thing. Here's what it is. This is, by the way, what our state law used to be until they changed the constitutional carry thing, because now we can carry guns loaded in our cars, what it is, on our person and stuff like that. Thing is, we still can't carry long guns loaded in the car, which is fucking dumb as hell. So, yeah, no person shall knowingly transport or have a loaded firearm in a motor vehicle. Such a manner that the firearm is accessible to the operator or any passenger without leaving the vehicle. That's another thing that was fucked up, by the way. Like, and it actually was sort of like, it was so fucking convoluted, honestly, the way this was written back in the day, because it was basically you'd have to have it in your trunk, or you have to have it like you can have like the gun itself like sitting there, viewable, but it couldn't have a mag in it, and it couldn't have the chamber loaded and stuff like that. So it was so fucking stupid entirely. Let's see here now. Person under influence, person with blood. No person who's registered to carry license or who's active duty military or armed forces in the United States is carrying valid military certification card. Documentation successful. Okay, so that's not what it is. Knowingly fail. Okay, so this is all. By the way, a lot of the stuff that's in this is actually stuff that's already been null and voided by constitutional carry laws, because, like this, it was talking about like duty to inform and like all this other shit, which you don't have the duty to inform anymore in the state, thank God. But I mean, obviously, if a cop's going to ask you, but oh, you carry, and it's like, are you? Like, obviously, the answer is yes to both, buddy. Like, come on, man. So, anyway, but let's see here now. Any person employed by the state. Let's see. Person discharges firearm motor vehicle. Cow, deer, groundhog. Discharges not during deer season. Okay, this is all basically having guns in cars, essentially what it is, it sounds like here. So I don't know. I'm not so sure. Like, it's hard to say, because I know there is like a specific law about open carry in our revised code, and that's the problem right now, is what I'm trying to find. But it's like, I'll be damned if it is actually coming up as a problem right now, dude. So, or at least if it is, I'm not finding it. Here's what the problem is right now. Maybe it's this firearms prohibitions. Okay, this would have been the same day the constitutional carry was passed then. Okay, let's see. Okay, so according to this, it said no person shall knowingly discharge a firearm while enter on a vessel, which would be vehicle is renamed a vessel, what it is then. Person shall knowingly transport or have a loaded handgun in a vessel in a manner firearm accessible to operator as passenger. Person shall knowingly transport a firearm that is loaded. Carry one other ways. Wait, okay. Is this what they did away with then? This is weird. Huh. Because this would have been part of constitutional carry then, which is odd, because it's like, okay, that makes more sense. So it was them doing away with all that shit from the previous one for mishandling firearms motor vehicle thing is what it is. Okay, that makes more sense now, if that be the case then. Okay. I got you on that then. Okay, well now I'm just looking for like age stuff in this, and if that be the case, potentially. So, Person charged with A, B, or D. Okay. Huh. So according to this, it sounds like you can't carry on a boat in the state, which is weird. So, learn something new every day, apparently. Anyway, where are we at now? Okay, so this is basically saying the cop stops car, etc. Violation section possession. Person in the vessel surrenders a firearm to the officer either voluntarily or okay. So this is kind of not having to do with the kid though, but it's like if you're having a gun in your vehicle, whatever the case be. Officer does not charge person with violation section. Arrested the person in offense. Person is not otherwise prohibited by law from possessing a firearm, and the firearm is not contraband. Officer shall return gun to the person at the termination of the traffic stop. Yep, makes sense. So, okay. So, Again, I'm not finding anything specific here is what it is. Let's see here now. Okay, so this is April 4th, 2023, which was carrying concealed guns. Or carrying concealed weapons. No person shall knowingly carry or have concealed weapons person or concealed carry hand any of the following deadly weapon other than a handgun. A handgun or other than a dangerous ordinance. No person has been issued a concealed handgun license shall do any of the following. Okay, so yeah, I think this is more or less one of the ones that was passed here last year, and this was basically what Bill Seitz called like the Antifa Amendment initially, which was allowing people to carry like knives, bats, batons, etc., like that, concealed is what it was then. It's like, or it could be people that are 18, 19, 20 years old that can't legally carry a gun, dude, because they don't have a weapon, is what it is then. Or technically, I mean, if you go by the definition of what they passed here in the state of Ohio, you can't legally conceal carry a handgun under the age of 21. So it's like, yeah, you got 18, 19, and 20-year-olds that would want to carry something else that it is then concealed. So, but anyway, okay, let's see. Person transportation and storage. Person storage, possession of firearm. Are described in version 123. Vice code, owner's home. Lawful possession. Okay. Information defense charge. Weapon carried. Kept readily in hand. Factor of division. Okay, so this is basically okay. I'm gonna read this one right now. This is section D1. It says weapon was carried or kept ready at hand by the actor for defensive purposes while the actor was engaged in or was going to or from the actor's lawful business or occupation. Okay, so that's not what that was then. I was trying to do anything this one specifically for that would be like, punk ass kid. Actually, you know what I should look up? I should look up brandishing laws right now because that's probably where it would fall under. Actually, would be my guess. Because I know that I know we have that in the books if I'm not mistaken, and I think that's what that kid would be violating. That's what it is. So let me look up brand ishing. Okay, here we go. Firearm displayed, brandished, and cited that offender possessed the firearm and used it to facilitate offense specification. So that's probably what this would fall under right now. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Impersonation of a 3-year mandatory prison term upon an offender under divisions of the section is precluded unless the indictment, count of the indictment, or information charging of the offensive specifies the offender had a firearm on or about the offender's person or under the offender's control while committing the offense and displayed the firearm, burnished the firearm indicated that the offenders possessed a firearm or used it to facilitate the offense, the specification shall be stated at the end of the body of the indictment count or information. It shall be stated in subsequently the following form. And it goes on from there, which is grand jurors. Further find, they specify set forth by the offender, firearms person, burnishing, okay, impersonation, prison term for 3 years, revised code, preludes, is precluded if the count imposes a 1 year, 18 months, 6 years, was that 54 months or 9 year mandatory prison term of the offender under the different sections. Here's what it is. Let's see, specification, delinquent, may be used in a delinquent child proceeding in the manner and for a purpose described in section 2152.17 of the revised code. Let's see, mandatory prison term 54 months upon offender stuff. Okay, so that's all that thing right now. I'm going to look up this other code right now and see if that pops up anything for us. So, okay, that's talking about committing delinquent child to youth service department if guilty of specification. Okay, so that's not what we're really looking for then. What about this right here? It's define prison terms thing. Yeah, they really need to have like a better thing here is what it is for this. So, because this was September 2016, and then you had available versions, which were also September 2016, and then you had another one in 2011. I'm going to go look this up real quick, the 2016 version then. So, okay. So it's basically talking about what the offense would be. Let me go look up this part of it, though. Okay. So it's talking about a felon in the first degree. Man, it is really hard to find this shit tonight. Okay, let's say it like this, right? At bare minimum, this 15-year-old kid was brandishing a fucking firearm, which is illegal in the state of Ohio. Let's just talk about that one right now. The reason that the cops were called out there was because it was always someone being like, hey, 911, I just saw a dude pointing fucking guns at houses, and I'm pretty sure he's going to shoot the houses. That's why the cops were called out, and that's why he got shot in the fucking hand grenade. That's what it is, dude. So, yeah. Needless to say, it's a bunch of crap entirely, dude. So, see if I can look up brandishing firearm. See if that pulls up anything different. Display brandished nothing. Specific violation of career criminal. Okay, I'm going to go back to... Let's just go back to Google real quick then. And then we're going to look up fucking brandishing in Ohio then. Brandishing firearm Ohio. Okay, so it goes back to that thing. Okay. Okay, here we go. So this is actually another thing that falls underneath possessing replica too, for that matter. Okay, here we go. So this is actually, it says brandishing or possessing a replica firearm. Brandishing or possessing a replica firearm. No person shall, except in self-defense, draw, exhibit, or brandish a replica firearm in a threatening manner or in such a manner as to tend to the cause of victim to reasonably believe that the person is actually in possession of an operable firearm. B, no person shall possess or alter a replica firearm in such a manner that the object is indistinguishable from a firearm, which, by the way, if you looked at it at a glance from a far distance away or whatever the case be, which I'm assuming this one was like 20, 30 feet down the road or whatever the case be, and just saw like, black gun essentially what it was, she would assume that this is a real gun, dude, because it had no orange tip or anything like that. That's what it was then. says whether or not the object is capable of being fired to begin with. Section C. As used in this section, term replica firearm includes any device or object made of any material which is a facsimilate or toy version of, or is otherwise recognizable as a pistol, revolver, shotgun, sawed-off shotgun, rifle, machine gun, rocket launcher, or any other firearm. D, whoever violates this section is guilty of a misdemeanor of the first degree. So that kid honestly should be catching at least a misdemeanor in the state of Ohio right now on that one. So in the state statute for first degree misdemeanors in the state of Ohio is specifically misdemeanor first degree violators are not to serve more than 6 months in jail or pay more than $1,000 fine. Example of first degree misdemeanors in Ohio include driving under the influence, driving under suspension, domestic violence, assault, or theft of property under $500. So, yeah. So you should be getting like upward, potentially like a 6-month jail sentence in the state of Ohio, then if that be the case. So there's that. So yeah. But yeah, like I said though, man, like he was definitely doing crimes as it was, dude. When he's doing that shit, there's what it was. And you got this idiot, Roland S. Martin, being all like, "Oh, but there's nothing in Ohio about not being able to legally open carry." It's like, dude, the kid was fucking 15. He wasn't a legal adult. Like, that's number one. He couldn't carry here legally, legitimately. Number two, he was doing fucking legitimate felon shit with it, is what it is, bro. The hell? Fucking idiots. Which, and I say felon shit because obviously if this had been like a second, I think if I'm not mistaken, because it's a first degree misdemeanor the first time around or whatever, if it's like him doing it more than once, it would actually be a felony the second time around or whatever the case be then. So, and then it just goes, it's like, I want to say it's like, it would be first degree misdemeanor and then it goes to like, I think a level 5 felony if I'm not mistaken. It's either 5 or 6. I forget which one the lowest one in Ohio is right now. I think it's level 5. And then it would be like a 4, and then like a 3, and then a 2, and then a 1 eventually. If you keep like being a repeat offender, basically on the similar exact same charge what it is then. So, and then actually speaking of the state of Ohio, then you got this fucking shit coming out the other day, which was 8-time deportee with 11 arrests now charged with murder in the state of Ohio. Our border is broken. Furman Garcia Gutierrez, 46, has used at least 7 different names and 3 different birth dates, according to the local sheriff there that happened in there. So I'm going to go ahead and look up that dude's name momentarily here, and then we'll talk about that fucking story too as well for that. It's a bunch of shit entirely. So, because I want to say that's in that county not far from me. So, okay, that was in the, yeah, let's see, this is April 3rd. Yes, the sheriff, illegal alien charged with murder after man's body found in Hamilton County alleyway. So yeah, this would have been Cincinnati area then if that be the case. So, yeah, just fucking insane, dude. Go ahead and pull this up real quick. Sorry, I'm getting really tired right now. Anyway, yeah, so the death of a man whose body was found in Hamilton County on an alley on Monday. This would have been the 3rd this was posted, so it would have been Monday, April 1st then. Is a homicide, and suspect is under arrest on multiple charges. Franklin County Police, or Hamilton Police announced Wednesday. It says Furman Garcia Gutierrez, 46, is being held in Butler County Jail on charges of aggravated murder, premeditated is what it said there, using weapons while intoxicated, carrying concealed weapons, possession of drugs, and obstructing official business. Okay, so here's my problem with that, right? Okay, so this guy's an illegal alien, right? It's saying using weapons while intoxicated, and then carrying concealed weapons. Shouldn't it be illegally carrying concealed weapons because the guy is not legally able to carry a gun in this state because he's not a legal fucking citizen of the state? Or is he a legal citizen of this country? So, yeah, like, how is that not, like, illegally concealed carrying then? Anyway, says officers found victim's body about 2:35 p.m. Monday. It says Garcia Gutierrez was jailed on an ICE holder. Butler County Sheriff Richard Jones, who is the guy that actually went to talk with Chris Wray not long ago. Jones was the dude who was actually calling about what was happening here in America and how we're like on the precipice of basically having a serious terrorist attack in this country right now. So, yes, announced press conference back in March, a week before Garcia Gutierrez was arrested. So Garcia Gutierrez has been deported 7 times and has been in our jail 11 times using different names, 7 different names and 3 different birth dates, Sheriff Jones said. So while discussing Garcia Gutierrez's case, Sheriff brought up concerns about illegal immigrants and border security, said Jones, so that they have seen nearly 1,000 illegal aliens facing state charges in their jail since July 2021 here in Ohio. That's, by the way, just one county. I want to point that out right now. That's just Butler County, Ohio, dude. So the Ohio Immigration Alliance said in response to the sheriff's concerns that, quote, immigrants commit crimes at a far lower rate than people born in the United States. Go fuck yourself, Ohio Immigration Alliance. You were such a bunch of fucking lying pricks, you fucking douchebags. No, they fucking don't, dude. They commit it far fucking higher, dude, because when you have legitimate people here from Venezuelan prisons that piece of shit Nicolas Maduro let out of fucking prison there in that country and said, have at it, Haas. Go fucking invade the U.S.-Mexico border and go to fucking states like Ohio, etc. Yeah, there's a reason why you had a dude recently who was busted for trying to rob a fucking bank but was too stupid to actually say, give me your money in English. So he tried to use a fucking translator app thing. By the time he was able to type the shit in to actually translate it, the cops had a fucking gun in his head at the time. And we're like, get the fuck up, bitch. So I would love to know exactly who these people are and if they have direct ties to Soros or Islam for that matter. So let's go check these motherfuckers out, dude. Of course, works with immigrants, allies, and pro-immigrant leaders and organizations. What a fucking joke, dude. Let's see, Influence Watch. Let's see what they have on these people right now on this one. Let's see, agenda tactics, government criticism, media sympathy, advocacy for illegals. Let's see. Immigrant-based project aimed at preventing deportation of illegal aliens in Ohio. IOA is a volunteer project started in 2007 by Lynn something or other, a former deputy director of America's Voice, a DC-based left-leaning immigration reform group. So she probably has direct ties to Obama's my guess at that point, man. Let's see. This is that Lynn woman, director of Ohio, America's Voice, Ohio. Found OAI. Notice from the public, organizational records, tax records, articles of incorporation, physical office, indicates its status as a standalone entity. So the quote donate page on their website describes it as a volunteer-run organization which needs donations to fund the website, which most likely is a lie, dude. I wouldn't be surprised unless this is like a front for like Michael Bloomberg or something like that to fucking money launder through is what it is, dude. Do all kinds of money laundering bullshit, or even like it probably actually is a Soros fund, I think, if I'm not mistaken, dude, because he has like 1,000 different shell companies in this country, it seems like. Yeah, let's see. This is Agenda. Ohio Immigration Alliance works to prevent deportation of illegal aliens present in Ohio through 3 primary types of public campaigns: direct criticism of elected officials and immigration enforcement agendas or agencies, media campaigns to create sympathy for illegals who live in Ohio. Okay, here's my problem with that, right? They're saying illegals live in Ohio. No, you mean illegals that are illegally squatting in the state of Ohio, dude. They're not legally living in the state, man, because they can't live in the state because they're fucking breaking our laws to even be here. So adding Ohio Immigration Alliance is a singulatory in the letter-writing campaigns of left-leaning organizations that call out elected officials and government agents who support policies that aim to curb illegal immigration in the country. So really, they're just a bunch of fucking pieces of shit that need to be kicked out of this fucking nation entirely themselves, what it sounds like to me, honestly. So, yeah, a bunch of fucking scumbags, dude, for real. I just want to see if they have anything else on here then. Let's see. Talks about that woman at the end of it here. That's funny. So apparently she was a consultant for INS, which is the prelude to ICE, back in 1998. That's hilarious, dude. Fucking hilarious, bro. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find anything else about these people. See if I can find anything about funding here that it does on these fuckers. So. Oh, yeah. There you go. February 18th of this year, Immigrant Advocacy Group awarded more than $40,000 in grants. Fucking ridiculous is what it is, dude. What a joke, man. Fucking bunch of bullshit, dude. And this is exactly why our country's going under right now, dude. It's going to be to the point where we're going to have a fucking civil war pretty soon is what it'll be. Or actually, technically, you could call it a war in American soil, honestly, because that's pretty much what we're going to be fighting against is the rest of the fucking world and our country's soil right now. So, anyway. Let's see where we're at now. Yeah, so they're lying and claiming it's people born in America that commit more crime than the illegals that are in here. Bunch of bullshit entirely, dude. So the Hamilton police say that they are not looking for any other suspects, and the victim's identity is not being released until the family has been notified for that dude, this Garcia Gutierrez dude murdered is what it was then. So, yeah, a bunch of shit, man, entirely. Fucking very irritating for sure. And really just goes to show the fuckery in this nation is what it is, man. So, for those wondering what Richard Jones, Ohio Sheriff, looks like, there is a photo of him right here with his white cowboy hat. And while we're talking about the old cowboy hats, here's what it is. Go ahead and dust off my old black cowboy hat and do a little change over there. Oh yeah, feels good. Old dusty trail cowboy hat is what it is right there. So. I should totally meet Richard Jones in the black cowboy hat one of these days and just be like, "What's up, Hoss?" And then we just take like a picture together in the cowboy hats and shit like that. And I could just be like, "Cowboy 2020, 2026 or something like that. This dude actually wouldn't, honestly, truthfully, I'm not going to lie, dude. Like, Jones would not make a bad lieutenant governor, even governor for that matter, right now. So, that being said, he's also a pretty good sheriff. So, I don't know if I really want to take him out of the sheriff's office and make him into the, head of the state at that point then. He just needs to work with the incoming governors, as it would be then. So, but, yeah. And of course, he did say something here. What was it, a few months ago on, see if I can find it real quick here on X. Because there was something on there about him discussing the shit there about what was coming here as like a storm or whatever in our country and shit. Of like illegal immigration and shit like that's what it was. So let me go see if I can find that real quick then. Richard Jones. So it should pop up here pretty quick. Yeah, here we go. February 8th. This was about a 2-minute video of this dude discussing some stuff. He's talking about what was to come here. So, yeah, so this just should worry every American. Butler County, Ohio Sheriff Richard Jones informs media that he just recently came back from a conference in Washington, D.C. with FBI Director Chris Wray. Wray was quoted as saying, "It is not a matter of when, not a matter of if, but when terror attacks happen." Jones states there are more red flags with illegals coming into the United States than there ever were before 9/11 happened, and yet you got these fucking pieces of shit from this pro fucking illegal immigration bullshit ass advocacy group being like, oh, but illegals commit way less crime than American citizens do. No way fucking don't, you lying pricks. The illegals totally commit way more crime than us. A bunch of bullshit, dude, is what it is.
From the National Sheriff's Training in D.C. 3 days ago, 2 days ago, we were briefed
So
by
been
the
back
FBI
February.
director, Ray, the director of the FBI, and several federal agencies. There's 3,300 sheriffs in the United States. The President of the United States refuses to meet with the sheriffs. The 3,300, we have a hierarchy. We have a president. We have a vice president. The President of the United States refuses to meet with the sheriffs. He also refuses to meet with the police chiefs of the United States.
Yep.
They have a hierarchy also. He refuses to meet with them to talk about border issues or talk about crime that's going on because of the border issue. We were also told by Mr. Ray, the FBI director, that there are more red flags going off now than before 9/11. Okay? When I say red flags, meaning people that are here in this country that are wanting to do harm to us. We were also explained we're bombing 2 countries right now. 2 countries. These people do not like us before this started. There's thousands of people here from other countries, 160 different countries. They're here not to be our friends. Some of them are coming because they're wanting to come here to the best country in the world.
Yeah.
The way we see
and Robert Blind.
Some are coming here to do harm to us. And we were told by the FBI director, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. We were also told 5 sheriffs went.
Okay, that's we're cut off on. I feel like there should be another thing there. Yeah, the thing is, though, and mind you, this was like 2 months ago, and you also had the other day in fucking Michigan, you had a bunch of Islamic terrorists chanting death to America that were all in Tlaib's area there is what it is. So, let's see if I can find the whole. Okay, so that's a 2-minute version, 2-minute version. Where the fuck are we here? These are all the 2-minute versions. Wait, is this the entire version here? Okay, this is a 13-minute version from that same day. So I'm going to see if I can find a section of it here. It'll be... He's talking
Going to attack our elections, which they've always done that. Just not the national. Okay. The Russians are still... Okay. And when they're attacking, they're trying to get our cyber system.
Okay. This was from the same day. Yeah, he's saying Biden refused to meet with people. What was there?
Proceeds is a lot of drone attacks. People are not just turning themselves in. The news media, it's had drones. Police departments and sheriffs, you know the technology that local law enforcement has on drones? Zero.
He's talking about drone attacks.
Drones, and most police departments and sheriff's offices have drones. We can't detect drones. Hell, they look like a bird in the sky. We can't make the drones stop. We can't stop them. You see football games on TV, the national football game, they call timeout to stop the drones. Hell, my grandkids have drones. Everybody has drones. We have no technology. The federal government doesn't share any of the drone technology with us.
Which is disturbing, by the way.
Is we're reaching out to the private industry, and we're going to see if we can get anything that can detect drones and how we can stop drones. Now, again, it's not to scare people. This is the truth. Everybody in this room, the news media, you guys get hacked. They try to hack you. One of the local channels in Cincinnati was hacked. They were down to paper for several weeks. Just paper. When we were hacked, we were down to paper. Our computer system, our dispatch, all hacked. Again, that's being attacked by foreign countries. You wouldn't think that a foreign country would be attacking us. The public needs to know.
Oh, yeah, we would.
Now, people that are...
Okay, so that's interesting. So he said we're going to attack. By the way, this is February 8th this year that he said this. It was, what was it, like 2 weeks later or so is when you started having the attacks on our fucking medical industry and stuff like that, where people couldn't get medications, and you had people die from that alone is what it was then. And you also had like obviously the other stuff going where it was the phone attacks and stuff like that recently. That was all happening at the same time period. Since then, I've actually had my internet go down twice during the middle of the night here, just randomly for like an hour or two at a time is what it is then. So yeah, very scary shit, dude. And I know for a fact there's definitely some kind of like cyber worm going around or something. That's what it is, dude. Where it just is going through like every single factor from medical to phones to even like that, like sheriff's offices, etc. News media places and stuff like that. And the scary fact is they don't know who's doing it. And I don't think they do know who's doing it. It's the problem right now. I believe what it is it's a coordinated attack, I believe. And it's from multiple countries, including China for that matter. It's that, and I think maybe what it might be actually might just be China being like, hey, everybody, and like low key going like dark web shit or whatever the case be, and being like, hey, we need the best of the best hackers here. And they're just like paying people to basically hack the shit out of America, is what it is, man. And the sad fact of the matter is, it's like, and I've talked about this before on this channel and other channels too, for that matter, that have on the site is what it is, where people don't realize this. And Jones actually pointed out there what he said about, attacks every day. There are attacks both cyber and physically on our grid every single day in this country, dude. And that's the entire point they're trying to do right now. They want to take down our fucking power grid. They want to take us back to the fucking Stone Age is what it is right now, with essentially like an EMP burst or something like that it'll be then. And that is what's scary as shit right now, dude. Because God forbid, like, I know we're supposed to have winter again here in Ohio pretty soon is what it'll be. It'll be like the last storm of like April, probably most likely in the next week or so is what it'll be here. And, usually like, obviously they say it's like springtime is like May or something, but even then I think we usually have like one more winter storm around like May or something here in Ohio most of the time. So it's usually not until like early June when we actually have like real summer starting up is what like our spring is basically in our summer is what it is then. So it's all like one thing for like a week or two there is what it is then. But yeah, it's scary to think about because technically we could have like another big winter storm in the next, couple weeks to a month here or so, right before spring hits. And then, yeah, if God forbid the fucking grid goes down, then dude, like people are going to freeze to death legitimately is what would happen there. It's like that one episode of Jericho where it's, they're all just like chilling out or whatever after their power goes out and shit like that or whatever. And the grid goes down there. And then it's the episode opens with them like finding like an old couple that died right by the fucking fireplace because they couldn't get warm enough as it was then. And it was temperature just dropping like, 40, 50 degrees in like one shot or whatever the case be then into like the negatives. So, thankfully, even with mom being gone now, the one thing she did leave behind because she was always cold as shit in this house and house itself has always been drafty, but yeah, she left behind a bunch of blankets for me. Is what it is, which I plan on taking the majority of them with me, honestly, when I leave this place to go wherever then, just in case. Because, especially the big old quilts and stuff. Obviously, I'm not going to take every single thing, but yeah, I'm going to take, like, for instance, what I have right behind me here, which is one of these thermal throws is what it is then. I got a second one over here, too, as well, that I usually throw around me when I fall asleep in this chair most of the time anymore. So I have one, like, when it's, like, that over me, basically, is what it is. And then I got the other one, like, around my midsection, legs area and stuff like that is what it is there. So anyway, lower half of my body. And then I'll tell you what, man, going back to the resale thing that I got, this fucking pillow, this little baby pillow I got over there at the resale place for 50 cents, bro, has come in really handy in the last like month or so since I got that thing. Because I'll just throw that behind my head, and I'll tell you what, it actually is fluffy enough to where it doesn't hurt my neck anymore to just sit in this chair and like fall asleep in the chair then. Because that pillow just works perfectly what it is then for comfort for a couple hours and just like napping in the chair essentially what it is then. So anyway, that being said, fuck are we at right now? I don't even know anymore. Oh yeah, that's right. We're talking about Jones here and hack attacks and stuff like that. But yeah, there's definitely people hacking the shit out of our grid right now is what it is, dude. And they're trying to hack us to the point where we can have like just like grid down at some point probably here's what it is. Not to mention you got the whole Iran Israel thing popping off all over the place and shit like that's what it is then. So
here to do us harm. Do we expect I've been to the border 3 times. People are not just turning themselves in.
Of course they're not.
Actually called gotaways. And some of them get
getaways
with backpacks and packs. Now, are they bringing groceries with them?
No.
We don't think so. We believe the ones that don't want to get caught, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
We believe they're
a bunch of guns and everything else.
Strong possibility they're bringing something here to cause us harm. You have to believe it. China has safe houses in every state in the United States.
And that's disturbing as fuck, by the way, too.
After I discuss that, I'm going to take questions. But there's 3 things I'm going to be asking the state of Ohio to do. On the offense, not just the defense. I've reached out to State Representative Sarah Crothers, and I've reached out to State Representative Cindy Abrams, 2 state representatives. And I've asked them, I've instructed.
By the way, those were like the 2 worst state reps he could have actually reached out to, because Carruthers and Abrams are 2 of the biggest rhino sacks of shit in our state house right now, dude. They are corrupt as fuck. They're both pay-to-play pieces of shit. And they are openly, specifically Carruthers, is openly helping fuck over Second Amendment Preservation Act, aka 2A sanctuary right now in the state of Ohio. So, yeah, there is no, he needs to step out. He needs to literally go out and like be like, hey, other state reps that aren't in this county, like, let's do this thing kind of thing or whatever, and just go to some other people's what it is then, dude. Like, honestly, I would say truthfully, if Jones was smart right now, he'd be contacting Brian Stewart and a couple other people that are on the way out right now. So
there's 3 things I'm asking the state to introduce legislation on. One is the northern border. You think that we don't have a border, but we do. We belong to Canada. So what happens is the border security have been pulled, a lot of them, a large portion of them, quite a few of them, to go to the southern border. So what happens when we do that? Drugs are coming back across more the northern border.
Yep.
People are coming across. Water and land. With that in mind, I want you to keep in mind, I'm asking that there be legislation introduced and that the governor appoint a task force to do interdiction on people and drugs coming in across our waterways and our borders into the state of Ohio. Texas has done so.
By the way, neither one of those things, as far as I'm aware, has been introduced to legislation or been passed at all in the state of Ohio currently in the last 2 months. So
some of the similar. So the fentanyl has decreased by 40% from Texas and moved over to Arizona. So it's coming across. I was told 5 and 8 pills that are coming across into this country have fentanyl, the illegal pills.
Jesus Christ.
China helps the Mexican government with the fentanyl
cartels.
Again, they're trying to help us out. They're our friends. 5,000 people die a year in Ohio, fentanyl pills. 100,000 die a year in the United States. Our government is doing nothing to stop it. We're on the defense. Number 1, that we have a border security task force. Number 2, I'm asking that the 2 state representatives introduce legislation that will also form a full-time 24-hour-a-day cyber security, not part-time. Every department has their own. We don't communicate with anybody. If we're going to be attacked, which we're getting every day, I assume everybody is. I'm asking that these 2 state reps introduce legislation that we have one cybersecurity czar that's full-time, nonstop, 24 hours a day. They're attacking us all. Third, very important, I'm asking that legislation be introduced like in Texas, that if you're pulled over or stopped in the state of Ohio, that there be legislation, the law changed, that you can be charged with a state felony charge of being here illegally, and you can be arrested and charged.
That's how it needs to be.
Those 3 things. Now, I come to you not to alarm you, but to arm you. I want you to know what's going on. None of this I've made up. This is being told to us. And the reason it's being told to us, because 9/11, they knew it was coming. And none of us knew. No communications with local law enforcement. We can't do anything. We have drones, but we're going to. And we're going to do everything we can to protect our community, to keep our lifeblood, our fire, our dispatch.
Okay, that's what cut off. It was a longer thing than that, obviously, but yeah, crazy shit, man. And like I said, The fact that you still don't have people doing their fucking jobs here is even more ridiculous, too, is what it is. So, it's just insane to me. There, popped off again there. So I'm going to go ahead and actually start tagging people in our state legislature currently right now and be like, hey, would you please introduce legislation that Richard Jones asked for 2 fucking months ago? So... In fact, I'm going to directly go to a state senator and I'm going to go to a state rep, both. Yeah, I'm going to directly tag Teresa Gavarone, and she's a state senator, and then Brian Stewart, who's a state rep right now. So, anyway, other than that, that's pretty much where we're at right now for the day. That's pretty cool. People were showing off a gun that was a full auto with a grenade launcher on the bottom of it. Thing about that is, though, right? Like, I don't know, man. Like, to me, full auto is kind of like, yeah, it's a little bit of a niche, honestly. I think. Like, if I was gonna, honestly, truthfully, if I was gonna have some gun that was like, quote unquote, select fire, I would actually want something that is 3-round burst. And it's because you have like a lot more chances of 3-round burst than you do with full auto, is what it is then. Because a full auto, you're just like basically spraying and praying. With 3-round burst, you're just like and like knocking out like 10 different people, is what it is then. So anyway. Huh. Weird. People were showing some person doing like some weird ass bang thing, is what it was. So anyway, but yeah, it's after 4 a.m. my time. I'm getting very, very exhausted right now. Probably about to fall asleep here in a few minutes, so I'm gonna call it a day right now and do what needs to be done to get some sleep here finally, and then basically just work on some things later on. Then tonight is what it is. So I'll be back sometime today, most likely with Honda and Company for his Gay Frog chat later tonight, which will probably be around, I'm guessing 10:30, someplace in there. So anyway, that being said, it's been real. It's been fun. Yeah, there's a lot of race bait motherfuckers out there. A lot of black supremacists out there right now that are trying to fuck with our country. They're definitely trying to make rioting happen again this year. And then, of course, you got government trying to pull the same shit as what it is, too, for that matter, because they want to fuck us over, dude. They want to put us into a world war, like I was telling Tactic Muffin Top last night during that Stand Your Ground Saturday chat. You have people who are trying to take us into a fucking world war to stop a presidential election this year. And if they stop that, they'll stop all state elections too, for that matter, if they suspend the Constitution and try to stop elections entirely. So yeah, they're trying to commit all kinds of fucking crimes and stuff in this country, dude, and it's not okay. It's never okay. And yeah, it's just a bunch of shit entirely, dude. And I'm getting real fucking sick of it, man. So anyway. Yeah, even speaking of politics and lobbyism and lobbying and stuff like that, what it is here is people say here is that American politics are owned by corporations. 2009 study found that lobbying brought a return on investment of as much as 22,000% in some cases. I've said before, dude, like corporate lobbying just needs to be banned in this country, period. Like across the board. And I'm talking specifically about pieces of shit like Michael Bloomberg and company like that. You'd never be able to lobby for anything, is what it is, dude. And all these scumbags at like federal levels that are all anti-gun sacks and shit, etc. So, anyway. Yeah, that being said, though, we're definitely heading towards a fucked up part of history right now. And I definitely think we're heading very much towards what used to be what basically led to like World War I and II both actually combined together for like a World War III situation kind of deal as what it is right now. And yeah, it's if it kicks off, bro, it's gonna be no turning back right now. It's real bad, man. Wow. Unarmed truck owner engages dudes attempting to steal his truck. Lucky he didn't get murked out. Yeah, exactly. Fucking crazy, man. So, one of these days when I get the money together, I definitely want to get an AK, or not AK, get an AR kind of pistol, or not AR pistol. Pistol caliber carbine is what it is. I'm not sure what I'll get yet. I'm thinking maybe I'm honestly thinking something that'll take like Glock mags, honestly. Just because I also want to get like a dagger or something down the line or something like that's what it is then. Or like one of those new Bear Creek Grizzlies or something like that's what it is then. So if I can get something that would take the same thing, dude. I like this one. We got the Ukraine flag and the Israeli flag. Not my flag, not my war. Also not my flag, also not my war. Exactly. So, yep. And that's what I'm saying before, dude. The people that are part of the network, we will not be the fucking pawns in some goddamn piece of shit pedophiles fucking war for shit, dude. What it is. Anyway. There was also some guy trying to talk about like, oh, it's not Gaza's fault that this is going on. It's fucking this thing. Or no, sorry. They were like, no, it wasn't Iran's fault this is going on. It was like, this is fucking Antony Blinken and these other people. It's like, no, it's both, you fucking assholes. Like, you're all trying to get this shit kicking off, you fucking dicks. I don't care who the fuck you are. Like, if you're at, like, seriously, I'll say it right now, dude. If anybody in Congress / U.S. Senate is calling for this fucking shit, they need to rip from office immediately for high treason. And be charged with high treason and shit. It's like, no, we're not going to sit there and fucking play your little fucking bullshit ass game. We're not going to be your fucking pawns of some horseshit ass fucking game is what it is right now. You can fuck off. You want to go fucking have a war with another country, dude? Then take your fucking ass over there yourself, and you be the ones on the fucking front lines with M16s in your fucking hands. Go fuck yourself, Adam Schiff, Hakeem Jeffries, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, all these fucking assholes. Dave Joyce, all these fucking douchebags like that, dude. We will not be your pawns. We will not be your fucking puppets. Eat shit, motherfuckers. Take your own ass over there, fuckers. So, just directly called out Adam Schiff. I said, he was talking about we stand fully behind Israel and the people. I said, go stand on the front lines, you fucking traitor. So, like, that's what it is. These people are, by the way, all these people that do this shit, dude, they're swearing an allegiance to the U.S. Constitution when they take office, yet they'll sit there and continuously be like, oh, let's fucking, but they're our ally. We got to back them. No, we don't, dude. It's not our fucking fight. So, yeah, you got Congressman John Rose here 9 hours ago saying we must stand with our closest Israel or closest ally in the Middle East. And I'm like, go stand on the front lines with them, guy, because you're a fucking traitor to the Constitution, asshole. Fuck yourself. So, yeah, I'm just going ham on everybody right now. Fucking Johnson popped in the feed too. I told him to do the same thing, man. It's like, hey, you want to go back him, dude? Go stand on the front lines with him, buddy. Seriously. Not our fucking country, not our fucking fight, douchebags. Stop trying to get us into World War III, you fucking rhino sacks of shit. So, anyway. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the day, though. Like I said, they'll be back here. I'm not sure when yet. It'll be at some point here. We'll be doing something. And from there, oh, wow. Yeah, as far Governors of America said, ever buy a firearm, make a profit, straight to jail for you and at least a bunch of hoops jump through if ATF decides they're engaged in a business rule. It's under a new rule, whatever the case be. Again, they don't have fucking physical proof to do any of that shit, dude. Such a bunch of fucking unconstitutional bullshit, dude. They have no legal right to pass anything. They can't write fucking laws. They're not a fucking electable entity is what it is, dude. Hell, even Congress has no legal right to fucking write laws at this point, man. I'm so fucking sick of it, dude. I'm so fucking sick of all of it right now is what it is, bro. Like, you guys, they have no legal right to do anything is what it is, dude. Congress can't fucking write unconstitutional laws either, for that matter. And if you're trying to fuck with people's private sales and stuff, you're directly pulling some shit here is what it is then. So, I don't know. I noticed you had like one from like an hour ago on there too. And then the last one just popped up right there is what it was. I don't know if that's just not coming through or whatever's going on, man. I don't know. Weird. So, anyway. But yeah, that being said, that's pretty much right for the day is what it is right now. People need to pay attention to what Jones was saying there, dude. Richard Jones here in Ohio. And our state legislator definitely needs to get off their ass and do some shit right now when it comes to cybersecurity and helping protect our fucking vulnerable spots from being able to be hacked and stuff like that. Nothing else. Like, man, I can tell you what. Like, my brother was probably not be the best person to be like the czar kind of guy or whatever the case, but he could definitely be like a dude like in the middle section there, like a high up guy if that be the case with people, man. Like, he knows enough about this shit, honestly. He could definitely do something for you is what it is then. If nothing else, he could find the people that would be better than him, honestly, to be like the actual, like, you know, reverse hackers, I guess it would be like the white hat hackers, essentially, would be then. To like hack them back kind of things would be then, man. So, and that's what we really need, honestly. We need people like that can do like a hack back, essentially, is what it is then. So, yeah. But yeah, next Tuesday, I think is what it is, which is the 17th. Or no, that'd be Wednesday, 17th. We're going to be doing. They're doing a first hearing in the Ohio Senate. Talks about enacts the Uniform Public Expression Protection Act, which is basically to stop people from having their First Amendment rights violated in the state of Ohio. Is what it is then. So there's a bunch of other stuff they're bringing to the first hearing and stuff that day too for the Ohio Senate. Is what it is then. So I should just go to that and be like, nothing else, just like wait and sit. That like that's a problem. I can't get into Columbus, unfortunately, is the situation there. But if I could, it would be just sit there for a couple hours, wait for this stuff to go through, and then have like a 10-minute conversation with these people and be like, please God, introduce this legislation. Like we need to have this stuff in our laws right now to stop what is coming, because what is coming is going to be a fucking tidal wave of insanity, is what it is, dude. So. But yeah, I think that's the problem right now. And it could be too that people just aren't paying attention to what it is, which makes sense, especially if you're like a state rep or a state senator, whatever the case be, dude. Like, there's a lot of time where you're actually just busy doing stuff, and you don't have time to like watch is what it is. So you have to be tagged in that kind of stuff for them to even see it. Then I know Brian Stewart is on X quite a bit, is what it is, especially on the weekend. So I'm hoping he'll see that and actually act upon it, is what it is. Then at least fucking call out Carruthers and Abrams for not doing their fucking job and actually introducing legislation for what it is then. So, anyway. I don't know, man. It's just, it's getting really infuriating right now is what it is. And like I said, it's like the vulnerabilities could easily be shored up if it wasn't for just the dumb fuckery going on in this country right now, dude. Actually, Tim Pool pointed out something interesting too the other day. He was talking about the squatter people and stuff like that in various states and stuff like that. Because I guess there was that video going around of the woman and her son, who were like obvious like meth heads in like Portland, Oregon area or something like that, who were trying to break into this guy's fence and shit like that and go and steal like stuff from him, as it was then. And he was like, back the fuck up, and like pulls a stun gun on their asses. And Tim was pointing out the fact it's like, hey, these people being told to like go here, here, and here kind of thing, and not like rich ass $1 million mansions and stuff like that in all these different states. And it's like, yeah, it would make sense if that was the case, honestly, dude. So, but anyway, yeah, that being said, though, that's pretty much where I'm at for the day. I'll be back, like I said, with another Grandstand at some point in the future. Not exactly sure 100% when. But it'll be sometime this coming week. And then, of course, we'll have our regular, Thursday, Friday chats and stuff like that. You'll have those be back again next week, is what it'll be. We may or may not be doing Oath Breakers again on a regular basis. And if we are, we'll definitely do one on Wednesday then for sure. Again, I'm not 100% sure if we want to do that or not right now, but it'll definitely be a situation where certain things going on right now. People are making memes about when they launch World War III 2 days before taxes are due. That's funny. Fucking somebody did a meme of O.J. Simpson putting on a glove and stuff like that. And it's St. Peter saying that trick doesn't work here. That's funny. Like the glove doesn't fit or whatever. So, yep, sounds about right, dude. Squatter Squad, Squatter Revenge, Man Barricades Basement Squatter. Yep, that's about how you do it, man. That's all you gotta do sometimes. Deal with that shit correctly is what it is then. So, it's like y'all want to fuck around, you're gonna find out real quick, people. But anyway, yeah. People saying me making my liberal friend read a history book so he can understand why trading liberty for security is a bad idea. Yeah, even fucking founding fathers were saying that shit many decades ago. Back in the founding of this country, it was like those who'd want to trade one for the other deserve neither. So, and they are very right about that one, dude. There's a reason why they were some of the smartest men in U.S. history, honestly, is what it is, dude. it's also a reason why they wrote the Constitution the way that they did, because they knew, hey, they were literally fucking fighting a war for their freedom at the time. And it's like, yeah, if shit ever goes down again, we don't need to have it that way is what it is, dude, ever. So, but that being said, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm at for the day there right now. So, hope you all enjoyed this episode. Like I said, I'll be back probably. I'm thinking maybe back like Tuesday night or something. I might do. I'm debating. I might do something like after Honest Chat tomorrow if I'm still awake and we haven't covered everything that I want to cover, whatever the case be. I might just do like a random like Grandstand or something after that if that'd be the case. Then at like midnight or something, or 1:30 or something like that. If that'd be the case, depending on when we end, obviously. So, but yeah, it's been interesting though for this one, and yeah, if anybody out in the crowd out there ever wants to be on my my panels or anything in the future here, hit me up, man. You got my emails and stuff like that. It's been a while since we talked anyway. I'd like to talk with y'all again, so and we can discuss certain things and whatnot. Here's what it'll be. So, but yeah, we're definitely, like I said, I think we're heading for really bad times ahead right now is what it is, and I don't know what it's going to look like right now. It could be World War III. It could be upcoming Civil War. It could be some kind of weird, mixture inside the United States thereof. It could be like a prelude Revolutionary War for that matter. Even could be a fucking tax revolt. It could be tribalistic warfare. It could be a race war they're trying to get us into. It could be a holy war they're trying to get us into. It could be all those things combined together as one thing is what it is then, and it would just be WAR, a fucking war at the end of the day. So, but yeah, shit's about to go fucking nuts. I think it's about to go fucking nuclear too for that matter. And I wouldn't put it past any of these countries to use nukes, man. And that's the scary part right now. And if we have, like, that's the one thing. I was watching the beginning of that fucking show, the 100 and stuff like that, dude. And, like, obviously it's a terrible show overall. But, like, I mean, the gist of that series was the fact you had, like, nuclear winter happen. There's what it is. Which, ironically enough, from my understanding, because when I was looking through the synopsis and stuff of that show, what it said was, I guess it was some kind of AI was invented or whatever the case be that actually launched the fucking nukes against humanity is what it was then, dude. So the fact that they're fucking with AI like crazy nowadays, it's like, yeah, could be that thing, honestly. Due to artificial intelligence being like, okay, full Skynet, ding, hit the fucking kill switch, basically. So I don't know, man. Fucking nuts either way. But yeah, that being said, like I said, I'll be back at some point here for another one at some point down the road here, and we will be doing what needs to be done, and hopefully we won't have to beware of the Mexican Joker, because you never know, man. That might be a thing at some point. But anyway, for real though. It's been fun. It's been real. Always be carrying, stay safe, stay armed, and make sure that you are always vigilant of your surroundings, because you never know when somebody's going to try to harm you or your family or do some kind of terrorism against you or your family. So better to be ready for anything and prepare for the worst, hope for the best is what it is. Later, everybody. See ya.